Welcome to this GoDaddy WordPress tutorial where I'll show you everything you need to know about building your own website with GoDaddy on WordPress. Now, if you don't have WordPress installed already, you can use the link in the description to get a discount on GoDaddy WordPress hosting, and then after that, just log into your WordPress account and follow along with this guide. All right, so now we're on our WordPress dashboard here. And if you're not really familiar with the WordPress dashboard yet, I'm going to go over it real quick, just briefly. Now, mainly what you're going to want to pay attention to is this left sidebar right here. This is pretty much everything that's going to control the site. And our dashboard is basically just the home page for our WordPress site. And so if we start up here, this is the post section. This is where all your posts are going to be. And then media is going to be where all your content that you upload is going to be at in your media library. And pages are similar to post. So for example, like some of the pages on your website, like your about page or your contact me page, that's the stuff that would fall under the criteria of a page versus a post. And then comments right here is where your comments are going to be when someone comments in your site. And then the appearance, this is where you're going to be able to select your theme and then also edit that theme. And then your plugin section is basically going to be a bunch of, if you're not familiar what plugins are, they're pretty much like apps that just help you do different things with your site. And then the users section, maybe you wanted to have someone else work on your site, but you only want to give them limited access to certain things like editing your site or anything like that. That's where that's going to be at. And then the tools section, you can see right here, is going to have a bunch of different stuff right there that usually you don't use that too much though. And then your settings section, this is basically where you can edit stuff like your name or assign pages under the reading section. Also, you can change your permalinks too right there. And then we have this collapse menu button right here. So if all of a sudden your menu, you notice it disappears kind of like this, all you need to do is press that button and then it'll come back. And now the first thing we're going to do actually to get started is we're going to install our theme. The theme that we're going to be using today, the 2025 theme, is probably already going to be installed already on your WordPress site because this is just the default theme that WordPress is going to be using for 2025. And to get there, we're going to go over to Appearance and then we're going to click on Themes. And as you can see right here, mine is already active right there, the 2025 theme. And now if you guys don't have the 2025 theme right there, all you need to do is click on this add new theme button right here, or you can click on it right here. And then if it doesn't pop up right here under the popular section, you can just go and search 2025 right there. And then you would just click on activate and then install after that. So now if you ever want to get to the home page of your website, you're just going to go up here to where it says welcome and then go to visit site. And so right here, we're on our home page for our website. And now what I recommend when we start this is opening up 3 different tabs, one for your WordPress dashboard, and then one for your home page, and then one page that you're going to be editing on. So I'm just going to go back right here and I'm going to click on dashboard. So I have that page open right here, and then I'm going to click on visit site. I'm going to open that in a new tab. Then I'm going to do that one more time. So now we have the home page right here. So as we're working on our site on this page, we can go ahead and just refresh this just to check out how things are progressing. So now on our home page right here, first thing we're going to need to do is click on this edit site button. Then you can just click on get started right here. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to add 4 different pages. We need to add a home page, we need to add a blog page, a contact page, and an about us page. And these are kind of steps that you're going to take every time that you create a site like this. So to go and create a new page, you can either go up here and you can type in add new page right there, or you can click on this open navigation button here. And then we can click on this back button here from templates. Then we're going to go to pages. And then we're going to I'm going to get rid of this one right here. And now we're going to click on add new page. And now we're going to type in right here for our first page, it's going to be the home page. So I got that right there. Then after that, just click create draft. And then once this page comes up, you can just close this. because we don't need that. And you can just hit publish. And so now our home page has been published. Now we're going to go back here and we're going to do the same thing for these 3 remaining pages. So again, add new page. This is going to be the blog page. And then click on create draft, close this again, hit publish. And as you can see, after we add each one of those right there, they pop up here on our header. And so I'm going to go back and create another one. This is going to be contact. Click create draft, close this, hit publish. And now one more page. And this is our about page. And I'll create draft, close this, and publish. So now we have our about page, our blog page, our contact page, and home page. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here to open navigation, and then we're going to go where it says pages. We're going to click on the back button, and we're going to go to styles. And this is where we're going to choose our website style, what we want it to look like, basically the color and typography. So you can click on these different ones here to figure out which one you want. I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with this evening one right here. And then if you scroll down, you can also click on the palettes too. That'll give you some more options. And then down here in the typography, you can kind of just go through these. And you can see right there, it changes those. And I think I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with this one right here. And then after you figured out what look you want, you can just click on save. And now we can go ahead and check on this. So we can refresh this. And as you can see, that whole style has been updated. So now our site is dark. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to change this title right here. We're going to get rid of this welcome or whatever it says for your site. And we're going to switch that to the name of our website. So I'm just going to get rid of that right there. And as you can see, it says right site title. And so I'm just going to type in my site title right now. Okay, and then once that's done, you can go over here and just click on save to save that. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch up the arrangement of these pages up here. So if we just click here and then click on these right here like this, you'll notice this list pops up right here. And so we're just going to take it. I'm going to click here first and then click on edit. And now we can go and just bring these pages to different locations. So I'm first going to do the home page, and then I'm going to do the blog page, and then about, and then contact. And then after that, click on save and save again. And so if we go over here and refresh, you'll see those have been updated. And then what we're going to do is go back over here to the dashboard, and we're going to assign some pages. So if we go over here to the left sidebar and then go down here to where it says settings, then we're going to click on reading. And right here under your homepage displays, we're going to switch this from your latest post being selected to a static page. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to have the home page be the home right here. And then our post page is going to be our blog. And then after that, we're going to click on save changes. And then after that, we're just going to go back to our home page right here. And then we're going to go ahead and click on this edit site button right here. And now from here, we're going to go over and open this navigation page right there. And then we're going to go to templates. If you're not already on templates, you can go right here and just select it like that. And then we're going to click on this add new template button right here in the top right corner. And then after that, we're going to click on front page. And so you can just go ahead and close this right here. And now the first thing we're going to do right here is we're going to type in a slash, and then we're going to type in header. And so a header box will just pop up, and all you need to do is click on that, and that's going to give us our header right there. And then after that, we're going to go up here to where these three little lines are, where it says Document Overview, and we're going to open that up. And then we're going to click on this little arrow button right there. And then we're going to click on these three dots right here. And we're going to click on Add After. And we're going to type in /footer. And that box is going to pop up. And so we're just going to select footer right there. So now we have our footer. All right, so now what we're going to do is add some content under our header here. So we're just going to go over to where it says header and click on these three dots and then click on Add After. And now right here, we're going to type in /group. So group pops up right there. We're going to click on that. And then we're just going to select this single block right here. And then after that, we're going to actually put another group within this group. So we're going to click on that and click the same thing again here. And then after that, we're going to click this plus button again, and we're going to type in content. All right, so that content button pops up right there. So just go ahead and click on that. There you go. So then after that, go ahead and click on group right here. And we're going to click on this align section. And we're going to turn this from none, and we're going to put it on wide width right there. And then after that, we're going to go over to where it says content, and we're going to do the same thing. Click on the align button and put in wide width. And then after that, we're going to go over here to the top right and click on save. And then after we save that right here, we're going to go back to this page right here. And I'm just going to close this right here, and we're going to click on edit page. And then we're going to close this right here. So now what we're going to do right here is we're going to type in /column and click on that right there. And then we're going to choose the 50/50 block right here. And then we're going to click on this plus button right here. And we're going to click on heading. And again, if you don't see anything that I mentioned right here, all you need to do is search for it right there and it will pop up. So again, click on heading. And we're going to make sure we switch this from H2 to H1. And now this is going to be the main line on your website. So like the first thing that people see, it's going to be the biggest thing. So you want to try to make your heading pretty engaging. So I'm just going to type in something right here. And then after you have that headline written right there, you can just click on enter. And this is basically where we're going to put our subheadline. And then after you have your subheadline written, you can go ahead and click enter one more time. And this is where we're going to add a button. So we're going to type in /button. And then click on that. And then I'm just going to put in some text for the button right here. All right, and that's it. We have our main headline right there, and then our sub headline, and then we have our button right here. And then the way you link your button so you can have it linked to something specific is just highlight your text right there, and then you can click on this link button, and then you just paste the link in right there, and then you click on submit. And then anytime somebody clicks on that button, it's going to send them to that URL that you type in right there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the second block and we're going to insert our image. So you can go ahead and click right there on the second block and then click on the plus button. And then I'm going to type in image right here. And then I'm going to click on the image button. And then what I'm going to do is upload my image. And as I briefly explained too a little earlier on about your media library and uploading stuff, once you upload anything on your site, it's all going to be in your media library. So say you upload something and use it on one page, you don't have to go back and upload it again. If you use it on a different page, you can just go to your media library and it'll be right in there. But since this is a brand new site and I haven't uploaded anything yet, I'm just going to click on upload. And so I have my image right here. I'm going to click on that and then click on open. So I have my image right here, and now I'm just going to click this box right here. So this is all selected like that. And then I'm going to go over here to where it says align. Then I'm going to go over here to where it says change vertical alignment, and I'm going to click on align middle. So now after that, we're just going to click on save. And so that's been saved right there. And now we're going to go back over to our dashboard. So I'm going to click this, and then we're going to refresh this right here. And as you can see, that's been updated. Our homepage now has an image right here, and then we have our headline, our subheadline, and then our call to action button. And the thing I really like about using just a blank template like this is that you can literally create anything you want. So like if you wanted something just super simple like this, almost just like a landing page type of style, you could just keep it really simple like this. Or you can go and just keep adding blocks of stuff. You could add images, you can add columns, groups, whatever you want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you how to edit this header a little bit, and then also how to edit this footer a little bit. So I'm just going to close this page right here, and then I'm going to click on edit site. And so now if we go and click on this header or footer, you'll notice this purple line shows up. So I'm just going to start with the header first. And if we go over here to template, so if we go and we click on like right here in the middle of the header, you're going to notice on this side you have a settings button, and then you also have a styles button. And this is where you can switch up the whole look of your header if you want to, or you can keep it just like this. So you can click on these. That'll switch up the style of it right there. You can go down here. You can change the text color, the background color. If you wanted to add a background image instead, you can do that. Also the padding right here. So if you wanted to maybe make it so it's almost like it's floating, you could add a little bit of padding. You could put it on like say small. And I'd recommend just kind of going through these like this and just moving them around like this and see like what you like. So maybe I'll go ahead and bring this in a little bit like that. And then also too, the margin right here, if you wanted to add some space in right there, you could do that. I think maybe I will do that. Add a little bit. I'll put that on small. And then maybe I'll make that a little smaller right there. And also too, if you wanted to add a border, you can do that. Put a little color in right there. Add something simple, like a little accent. Or if you want nothing, you can go back and click on this color right here. So I think maybe I'll just keep it on accent right there. And then you can have a border if you want to. So maybe I'll keep it like right there and then click on save and then save again. And if we come back up here, you'll see that it changes that and brings it up there. But I think I'm just going to keep it like this, keep it kind of plain like that. I think that's a good look right there. And like I said before, just kind of go through these and you can switch them up. You can bring them this way, bring them that way. That way you kind of learn what everything does. And I just don't want to tell you to do this, but then maybe you won't like that, so you'll feel like obligated to do it when you don't really need to do it. That's the whole point of this video, is to show you how to make a custom site and make it exactly how you want it to be. So now we're going to go down here to the footer, and we're going to make this a little bit smaller. And so if you click on this right here and it's highlighted with this purple line around it, you can look at these designs. So if you want to just make it really quick, you go ahead and click on one of these and it makes it really simple. You could do that. And then if you ever want to go back, you made a change, but you want to go and undo it, you can go and click on this undo button. And so you can get rid of that just like that. So that way you could go through and you could check out, each one. And then if you find out you don't like it, just click that twice, you're back to where you were before. So I think I'm going to actually just select this one right here. I like that. So now if we go back here to our dashboard and we just refresh that and scroll down, you'll notice that that big footer that was there before is just gone, and it's something a lot more simple now, which I feel like gives it a really great look. And so this is basically where you could go and you can make your choice whether you want to just keep it really simple like that, or if you decide maybe you want to go and add more content to this, you can click on edit page and you can just go here and you can type in your block right there. And you could add more images, you can add quotes, you can add pretty much anything you want. And so if you want to go ahead and add more content in right here where it says type to choose block, you can type, or you can click this plus button right here and you can click on browse all, or you can always click that plus button up here. And if you scroll through these, and again, I don't really want to recommend anything because I'm not really sure what type of website you're going to be going for. So I just scroll through all these and see what each one of them are and decide what type of website you want to have. You could maybe put some social icons down there. It really just all comes down to what you want to have. Or say maybe you wanted a quote right there, type in a quote. So I got one right here. I'm just going to paste that in. So if I go ahead and click on save, then we go to view page, and then we scroll down, you'll notice then we have a quote right there. And if I click on edit page right here, I can go back and select this and make sure it's centered just like that. Click on save, view page again. There it is right there in the middle. So now I'm going to go and go over some of the post section and some of the plugin section, and then a few other things before we wrap up this tutorial. All right, so now I'm back here on my WordPress dashboard, and we're going to go over, like I just mentioned, the plugin section. So again, to get to the plugin section, you just need to go over here to the left sidebar and click on plugins. And if you want to check out all the different plugins, all you need to do is click on add new plugins. And those plugins that you've seen on the previous page, those are plugins that have already been installed on this site. And now depending on who you sign up with, what website hosting provider you use, they might possibly install different plugins that maybe they have partnerships and stuff like that with. So you might have some different plugins on your site depending on who you go with. But again, right here is the plugin section. We're under the featured section right now, but there's also a popular section where you're going to see all the most popular plugins. As you can see, they're really popular. All these have over 10 million active installations here. Then you can go to the recommended section. So once you spend some time with your plugins and you install different ones that maybe you find over time, WordPress is going to recommend plugins for you as well. So when they do, they're going to be on this page right here. And then we have the favorite section. So if you decide to favorite a plugin, it's just going to show up right there. Now I'm going to go over 5 of my favorite plugins. I think these are good for every site. Anybody can use these and you're going to get some type of benefit from it. So the first one is a really popular one. This is a Yoast SEO plugin, and they have over 10 million active installations. And what this is going to do is help you rank better in the search results, like Google, for example. And it's going to give you different tips and stuff like that on how you can make your SEO more effective, mainly for your posts. So if you're struggling with SEO, that's definitely a good one to check out. And now the next one is Lightspeed Cache. And this plugin is pretty much just going to help you speed up your website. And it has over 6 million active installations. And this is actually compatible with the Yoast SEO plugin right there. So if you want to speed up your website, this is definitely a great one to check out right here. And now the next one is HubSpot. And if you decide to use maybe a store or you have WooCommerce, which is another plugin, you can use HubSpot for stuff like lead capture forms. It also has a live chat function and also 2 website analytics. So if you want to check out the traffic on your site, this will do that. It's kind of an all-in-one tool, but it's mainly for, like it says right here, managing your leads and customers. And now the next one here is OmniSend. And this one also does email marketing, but this one does SMS. So if you want to do marketing through SMS, like texting and stuff like that, this is a great plugin that you should check out for sure. And the last one is Akismet, and this is basically an anti-spam plugin. So if you're getting weird things like strange comments or anything like that, this is going to help weed out all that type of stuff like that. Because a lot of times, the more popular your website gets, the more people who are going to go and just basically try to spam it or link to their website, basically trying to get free advertising and stuff like that. But with this, you can get rid of that completely. And now to install a plugin, it's super simple. All you do is go and find a plugin that you want, and you can click on Install Now. And then after that, you can just click on Activate. And then when you go to your plugins page right here, you'll just go through and you'll find your plugin. And then usually there's a settings tab, or sometimes if you go over here on the left sidebar, it'll actually create its own little section for it. So you can go ahead and edit it right through there. But for the most part, you're just going to click on the settings tab. And then once you do that, it's going to have a bunch of different things that you can select and decide whether or not you want to have that feature active or not. Now, the next thing we're going to move on to is the post section. So basically, I'm going to teach you how to create your first post. And I'll show you a good example of a proper layout and everything like that. So to get to our post sections, we just go over here to the left sidebar and click on post. And once you land here, if this is a brand new site, you'll notice that there is a hello world post. That's just an example post that WordPress puts in there every time you install WordPress. So to go ahead and add a new post, you just click this add new post button. And now right here is where your title is going to be. And then everything below that is going to be this block section. And that's where all your content is going to go. So now I'm just going to type in my title right here. So I have my title right there, and now I'm just going to add some text. Okay, so I just went and added some text right here. And now, like I said, just to give you guys an idea, this is kind of how a basic post should look. You have some separators right here, and then we have a couple of numbered reasons on how you can speed up your website right here. But other things you can add onto it are just simple things like bullet points. Those always look good. And of course, if you want to add any images or anything like that, you can just go to your content, and I'm going to click on enter. This is very similar to everything we were doing earlier on, just on a post though this time. So now we're here on the block, and say you wanted to include an image or actually maybe a YouTube video. Say you wanted to embed a YouTube video. Type in YouTube and click on YouTube embed. And I'll go and grab a link real quick to paste in here. So I have a link, and I'm just going to paste that in right here. And so after you go and you grab your link, all you need to do is click on embed after that. And then boom, right there, you have your video embedded right there into your post. And now if you want to make a little space in between this, just going to click on enter again. And I'm going to type in /spacer. And now I'm going to click on that. And once we go over here, we can adjust how much space we want. So maybe we'll just do, maybe we'll just keep it at 25. And then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to hold my mouse there for a second, add another block. I'm going to add another spacer, not a separator. This is a separator right here. This is a spacer. And we'll put that down to 20 or 25. So now we have a little bit of space separating that, so it's not, laying right on top of the text right here. And then if we scroll down, maybe we want to include an image. We could also include a gallery or a cover. It's up to you, whatever you want to have. I think I'm just going to do an image. So I'll just go right here to upload, and then I'm going to select my image. Now we have our image right here, and I'm going to make sure that is centered. And then the size, we'll keep the resolution on full size. So now we have a little image right there. And if you wanted to maybe link to another page, like for example, maybe you have an article that was specifically about SEO, that you've already written on your site, you could go and select SEO, for example, and then you could click on the link, and then you could paste that link in right there. And then so if that way, if somebody is reading your post and they want to learn more about SEO, they can go ahead and click that link and you'll be sending them to another page on your website. So pretty much anytime you can keep people on your website, that's a good thing. And now if you want to do simple things like go ahead and change like text color, for example, you can highlight what you want right here and you can go to text and you can change that right there. You can also change the background. You can also change the link too. If you want to adjust the size of your text, you can do that too. And now some other things too, if we go over here to where it says post, this is where you can go and add things like a featured image. And basically a featured image is going to be the image that somebody can click on to see your post. And now if you wanted to adjust the link, like what the link says, or the text for the link, you can do that right here. And so pretty much normally, whatever your title is going to be, WordPress is pretty much going to update your link to say the same thing as the title. And having your title be the link is not bad. You can do that. That's perfectly fine. So that's all good right there. And then if we scroll down, there's a category section. And right now there's no categories, but say you have a site about, like for example, this site, it could be about speeding up a website. Your categories could be like SEO or website speed or load times. Maybe if you're going to help out with making images and stuff like that load faster, you could categorize them specifically. And all you have to do to add a new category is click on add new category, and then you type it in right here. So I'll just put in SEO, and then say you wanted to have a parent category, like basically a category that's connected to this SEO category. It's just the smaller category that's going to be under it. You could go ahead and add that right there. But first I'm going to click on add new category. So I'm going to go and add that category. And if we go to parent category, say you wanted to have SEO be the parent category for that, you would just select it and then click on add new category. But you can just keep doing this for however many categories that you want. And then the last thing down here below is the tag section. And this is where you're going to add keywords that are going to be relevant to whatever post you're working on. And it's pretty much for search engines and stuff like that to be able to find your posts. So for example, since this is a how to speed up your website in 2025, like I might go here and type in ways to speed up website. So you pretty much just want to go and look at your post and go, what would people look up to find this post right here? Like what are relevant keywords to this specific post that I'm working on? And again, too, if you need more help with that, you can just Google it. You can Google like how to find keywords for your post. And there's tons of different sites out there you can look up and find specific keywords. You can also write articles around specific keywords. So you can go out and you can identify keywords that get a lot of traffic and hopefully low competition. And then you can go and write an article and put that keyword somewhere in your title and then most likely throughout your post too. And then if you add that same keyword as a tag, like right here in your tags, there's a good chance that search engines will then pick up your article. This is basically how you get seen in the search engines like Google and stuff like that. And then if you're working on stuff too, and you're maybe not ready to publish your post actually, you can just click on Save Draft and that will save it. And then you can go and work on it anytime you want. But when you are ready, you just go up here and you click on Publish. And then after that, you're going to click on Publish one more time. And that's it. That article has been published. So if we click on View Post, we'll be able to see it right here. So we have our article, our video, we got some text, we got our image right there. And just like that, it's super simple to set up your first post. So now that we got the plugins covered and we have the post section covered, I just want to go over here and show you where all your posts are going to be at. So if we click on blog, you'll see that my post here, I went back and actually added a feature image. So that's kind of how it's going to work. You're going to have your featured image up here. followed by your title, and then the rest of your content in that post. So all your posts are going to end up right there on your blog section. And then I went and created just a simple about page. You guys can even go and use the same layout if you want. And now I'm going to create a quick contact page, and you guys can like literally copy this entire layout if you want to and use it for your site. So I'm just going to go up here now that we're on our contact page, and I'm going to click on edit page. So right here is just where I'm going to put everything. Okay, so we got a simple contact page right here. And you guys would just go and substitute your name, your website name, and then your email address and stuff like that. And then also your social links. You could just switch them right there. But yeah, this is just going to be how a simple contact page is going to look like. So now I'm just going to go up here and click on save and then view page. And so now we have our contact page. So anytime somebody wants to get in contact with you, they have every way to reach you that they possibly can. Now I'm just going to go back here to the home page, and again, go back over this real quick. Got our blog section, have our about section, our contact section. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope this WordPress website design tutorial helped you get your site up and running. And if you found it useful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.